Fragment of winter. 50% reduced effect of chill on you. These aren't quite as nice as I was hoping for. I was hoping for a thing that would maybe boost minions or something. Also, I'm actually having a look. You can actually make out which god it's gonna be. Like, my eyes focused on Kitava and then the circles. I didn't really pay much attention to the artwork. But like, you can see here, like, Tukahama. Like, his picture there that fits in the circle actually also completes the body there. Abrath's body, his picture completes the body. That completes there. So if you know these gods, then you know what you're gonna get in what slot. Though I doubt anyone on the first time through knows what's going in what circle. You know? Though there's two 80 gods there. Goddesses. Sunplate, no. I don't know if this is gonna be nice. Don't know why I bother checking.
How did you? You're still breathing. Bloody barnacles on me arse. You, my new friend, are a legend of the high seas to behold. I tell you what, I've already done my bit getting you here, but if you're looking to sail onto Frisia, me and the Black Crest would be honored to take ya.
So that's 7. No, not yet. Actually, I want to go finish this first. Act 7. Huh, the map here is much smaller, but it can grow. Bridge Encampment. Surviving rodents cling to cracks found in the masonry. What was this? A remnant of civility in the wild. Oh, there's the Chittis River. I'm thinking... I feel like I should accept it, but I really... You know what, fuck it, I'll accept it and I'll come back. Don't think it'll stop me.
Hold on to your cockles, me hearty. The sea betwixt here and Frisia be the most ill-tempered there is. There's hoping you've as much steel in your gizzard as you seem to in your heart. Cast off!
Okay. Oh, it brought me right to here. Beautiful.
What'll I do now? This here broken bridge speaks to me something. A fair place to rest me old bones for a bit. And tell you what, with all this sunlight and fresh air, I can feel the calling forth of the poetic muse beneath me trousers. Been a long time since I felt this here compass point in any direction. Now,
love it.
Speaking of navigations and the like, a long time ago, I had me a nice collection of riches stuffed away in a lockbox. Being the stupid ass that I am, I buried the thing one eve when I was high in my cups. Can't for the death of me remember where except I knew it was near this broken bridge. The box has a silver locket in it. It holds the portrait of my late wife, Meredith. It's the last thing I have in this world to remember her by. If you happen across my lockbox in your travels, I'd be appreciating of its return.
Wait, Meredith? Didn't we know of a Meredith? Meredith Poe, Pat of Exile. I have to specify because Meredith's apparently a common enough name. Maybe not. She's not coming up here, so that's fine. I just thought it was a nod to some character we knew of. Let's find out some more.
It's a bit of an embarrassing affair. truth be told. Thought I could return to the golden days, you know. Be a terror of the high seas like in me youth. Problem was, they'd all forgotten me. Those young blighters sailing about, they had no clue who I even were. Figured if I could complete another great feat, like slaying that sea bitch Mervale, maybe that'd earn me my respect back. Suppose I don't need to tell you. That girl is stronger than she looks. All it took were one slip of the old hands, and next I knew, the Black Crest wrecked against the coast, and I'm getting myself eaten alive by that hag. Peeled each separate muscle from my bones, she did. I tell you, it weren't pretty.
I can imagine. Ugh.
I know Lily be missing me something great, and it cuts me deep not to go visit the lass. Thing is, I reckon she should remember me as I was, not wretch at the sight of the spectre I be now. Let the legend live on in her mind, I say.
Pondium?
Think of the worst place ye can imagine. That's Pondium. Now think of the gods be damned best whorehouse you've ever had the pleasure of. That's Pondium. A pirate paradise full of bodies to stab, holes to fill, and devious liquor to imbibe. Brine rots control the whole island and make sure it lives up to the lowest of expectations. Can't imagine much has changed since I was there last. Still, it's a good place to swashbuckle and make love to a bawdy, buxom bunter out back of a boozy bar.
Seems like he likes his alliteration too. It's not just Khadgar.
Aye, them brine rods be a nasty bunch. Led by me very own flesh and blood, me baby sister Lucy. The rot mother, they call her now. Used to be that I were their leader, back when the brine rots were about one thing, and one thing only, raiding, pillaging, and plundering their scrawny black guts out. Old Lucy were me first mate, for years. But she got a whiff of the power that being captain could gain her, and mutineered me own sister. Dropped me on some deserted island off the coast of somewhere. The bitch. Took months to make it back to the mainland. That brine rot clan's been trouble ever since. Used to have some good old-fashioned pirate honor. And now, they're raving mad lunatics out for their next fix of fear and fortune.
Pirate honor?
Ah!
Judging by that rather curious ship and its errant captain, I imagine you had rather an interesting voyage here. Now, Inquisitor Maligaro. We must have his soul. He has most certainly returned to his old haunt, yet his manifestations are like wisps on the wind. There one moment, gone the next. While I am familiar with the phantasmal trails and tributaries that filigree this reality, Maligaro's exact whereabouts eludes me. You should speak with these desperates who cling to this broken bridge, that young Templar scholar in particular. Their mundane knowledge must provide where my enlightened sapience cannot.
The origins of the gods. Ooh.
There was a time before the beast, bathed in the shadows of lost memory, when men and women like you could ascend. Through rareness of quality and the adoration of their people, these few could reach out into the quickening mists of immortality and grasp the power of godhood. Mind you, transcendence is never easy. Like the pains of childbirth, it reeks of agony, tragedy, and sacrifice. The sacrifice most often being of one's humanity. That is simply the way of it. Those of us who seek the immortal throne live long enough to see ourselves become truly monstrous.
Oh boy. It's kind of sad and rather disappointing with the whole, immortality thing. It's never comes without a ton of, you know, fine text. I don't see where big guy is.
Ah, yes. You do seem to have a penchant for presenting yourself when times are at their most perplexing. It would seem that our Almighty has forsaken us. False deities from ages past now rise and ravage, while our blessed innocence remains as silent as the stones at my feet. So much for Templar propaganda, eh?
Sorry about that.
Well, I suppose if we are to fend for ourselves, then I should answer your troubling arrival with our own most pressing tribulation. The relic that washed ashore and started all the chaos. It was covered in ancient vowel inscriptions. The symbols were much weathered, making them challenging to translate. Yet I did my best. The inscriptions spoke of the god Ralakesh. If this object somehow housed the spirit of that many-faced monstrosity, then I fear we are all in danger. Ralakesh was renowned for his penchant for subjugation and control. Please, I urge you to destroy this god before his strength and dominance grow insurmountable. Nip this divine threat in the bud, as it were. Our poor friend, Grust, has likely become Ralakesh's avatar in this world. At least his recent behavior would indicate as much. If you could see to Grust's passing, Ralakesh will be forced to retreat into the relic. Destroy the relic, and perhaps you will also destroy the god.
It's kind of surprising he's saying, like, we just turn up and it's like, hey, could you kill a god for us? Like, we with the others are like hearing rumors, and it's just like, I know, it just, Aramir just seems to have a lot more faith in my abilities than I feel he should.
Yes, Ralakesh, the god of many faces. I read about this god when I looked after the museum in Theopolis. It said he was obsessed with governance, in particular the control of humanity through our base animal instincts. He ruled over the citizens of one unfortunate Val city. Alas, the name escapes me. Yet I do recall that his experiments brought his subjects to the brink of extinction, and that he was forced to enslave many a primitive Asmirian of the time so as to repopulate his domain. Though I shudder at the thought, I can only imagine that Ralakesh has rather similar plans now.
Where's the other guy? There's two guys and two 80s. There's Ghost Silk. Yeah. So I guess he will tell us here. No text. It started with a few mumblings in his slumber. Then long forays the wilds. Missing a few words. Started with a few mumblings. Long forays the wilds into the wilds, searching for relics of a distinctly arachnid nature. That was the natural extension of Silk's eccentric persona at first. Then the sleepless nights came studying those relics, the fevered recollections and broken recantations of broken Valish, strange eight-phase rituals. Then one night Silk gathered his collection, and scuttled off into the darkness without a word. Silk has always been susceptible to fine fictions. Perhaps he's finally shunned reality altogether. He's after been taken over by a spider god.
A fascinating case that flies in the face of all that is natural. Whalem is undead for sure. Something we have in spades in Rayclast. But a sentient, reasonable ghost? Now that is rare indeed.
There's one in the library.
When we talk, I feel as if I'm staring into the breach, witnessing that which man was not meant to know. I have theorized about what animates the pirate's essence, how he manages to manifest on this earth once again, I think I shall compile my observations and speculations into a book. Yes, Eramir's Elucidations of Undeath. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
It's not bad.
Fare you well.
You arrive. The Great Spirit spoke in my dreams, told me that darkness would again drown our lands. And you, Exile, would walk before the flood. But what is this? You are not alone. A shade, a memory, older even than... No, older than spirit? Fear grips my throat. I shake, but the spirit drapes a warming cloak upon my shoulders. This ancient ghost that follows you, it has the trust of the spirit. And if the spirit trusts, then I trust.
Huh. She's actually the only one to acknowledge sin. Interesting. Either that or she's noticing the essence of the gods. Though I doubt that's the case. I think it's sin that she's noticing. And the spirit that talks to her. I wonder what that is. Certainly, so far, it was active when the gods weren't. It's not a god. Unless that's sin talking to her in a roundabout sort of way, pretending to be something else. Though even then, sin wasn't active either. No god was, so spirit is a spirit of some sort. It's shaped like itself.
My heart weeps for our old home. But what the spirit gives, we must embrace. The spirit, it claims who it needs to, when it needs to. There is no sense in sadness.
The spirit's a cunt.
I watched Silk for many days, scurrying to this old Val stone, scurrying to that old Val ruin, always muttering. He talked and talked and talked, yet I heard no one answer. The spirit warned that I should stay away from him. It pained me. Silk is my friend, yet I must listen to spirit. I go from Silk's side, and now he is gone from mine. I do not know where Silk go, but I see him in dreams. He is caught in great spiderweb that stretch into darkness. And that spiderweb, it is full of bones. More bones from more people than I ever see in my life. If you find Silk, please, free him from the web. Don't let him become bones like the rest.
To be honest, I wonder if he's become, Ghost has become the Avatar. Wonder if Silk has.
Rayclast has changed. Once, I knew my place in this world. I knew my place within the spirit. Now, doorways have opened. Doorways I can neither see nor touch, but through which the spiritless ones pass all the same. The spiritless ones must be driven back. Their doors must be closed. May the Great Spirit guide you in your battles against these ancients that mean us nothing but ill.
Wait, spiritless ones? Does she mean the gods? Interesting.
I belong to no one but the spirit. I have no need for the sweet words and caresses of a ghost. Whalem, he makes me laugh, and he hears the voice of the spirit. Not in the same way I do. His spirit speaks of the great waters beyond this land. He pays heed to the spirit, and the spirit loves him for it. I do not. It is better to speak to the dead than no one at all. Whalem knows the spirit, but he will not know me.
I don't understand. Let's listen to it
I
again.
belong to no one but the spirit. I have no need for the sweet words and caresses of a ghost. Whalem, he makes me laugh, and he hears the voice of the spirit. Not in the same way I do. His spirit speaks of the great waters beyond this land. He pays heed to the spirit, and the spirit loves him for it. I do not. It is better to speak to the dead than no one at all. Willem knows the spirit, but he will not know me.